Hello, my fellow tiered wedding cakes. I'm Mr. Church. If you were to ask me what the best item on this season's scoreboard is, I would have to say it's the thrasher egg. And if there's one thing that you should definitely try to unlock if you're a camp builder, it's the thrasher egg. And I'm going to tell you why, but first, you have to be rank 65 to unlock it. It is not a Fallout First only item, so anybody can get it. But the reason why it's so good is you can break it yourself and then repair it for free. It is a shooting target, if you will. Now, there's a few other items in the game like this, but the ones that people do use for camp building were in an exclusive Amazon bundle like a year and a half or 2 years ago, and a lot of people missed out on them, and they can't get them anymore. And that includes myself. I wasn't able to get it. And so it's a really, really great item because it makes merging so much easier. There's different kinds of merging, of course. There's this kind of merging that I'm going to do right now, which is drop merging, was what people call it. Using the pressure plate, I pick it up and put it back down. The button sticks down. If I place what's specifically not an Ooga egg and is in fact the Thrasher egg, and I didn't accidentally put down the wrong egg on it, and you place it over and over, it'll look like the top item's sinking down into the bottom item. That's not what's happening. The bottom item is being pushed up into the stack of items you have there. So that is one way that you can merge, but there's another way you can merge items, and in that way is if you break an item that has items on top of it, the items on top of it will disappear. They have no collision, they're not there, you can place things through it. So what I did was there's a platform here of a rug, and it's being held up by this Ooga egg that's supposed to be a Thrasher egg. And so anything I place that's on top of that rug, when the egg is broken, will disappear. And then I can place anything I want in that space, and it makes for very, very easy merging. Now, I do go over this as well as a few other things in this video. So if you want a little bit more on any of that merging or anything like that, check that out. This is when I realized what I'd done, so don't worry about that. It was pretty horrifying, and I could have edited that out. But I wanted you guys to know that we're all human, and we all make mistakes. I don't, but I did this so that you guys would feel like a little less bad about yourselves. So I pretended that I made that mistake, but I did it on purpose for you. Now, when you break the Thrasher egg, as you can see, you can one-shot it with your most powerful weapon, like I did, and you can place whatever you want in that space. There's no collision, there's no nothing. It doesn't matter what it is. When you repair that egg, the stuff will go through it. Obviously, the egg is still going to be there, so you can either hide it in the design you have, or some people have made extremely complex structures underground that have the egg or the other item that they're using for the egg under the map. So you don't see the egg, but you go under the map, you break the egg, and that stuff disappears. Here's an example by Bad Notions of something that he built using broken items under the map to merge things in that way. But if you want to know how to get under the map, I'm also going to link the video that I showed before. It goes over items to allow you to get under the map like that. And I also linked Bad Notions socials if you want to check out some of his builds as well. So this is an example. I used the same platform of a rug on top of the egg to show that it makes building around large camp items easier as well. If you can place them on that egg or on something that the egg holds up, when you break the egg, it all disappears. And I want to remind you, it's free to repair it. So it's also nice because you can just break it and fix it over and over again. And it's very quick and it doesn't cost you anything. So you can keep fine-tuning stuff and moving it around until you get it exactly how you want it. I wanted to include the footage of making this little camper here that I'm making, just to show you how fast you can build something that would have taken a lot longer before. Now, I want to say, you can do everything I'm doing without the egg, or the shooting targets at all. But it required taking the flame trap and burning that item, or having a teammate PvP you and break the item. Those are both much more difficult, they're more time consuming, and depending on where, like how big the item is you're breaking, it's harder to get the flames to actually hit it. And if you want it to be a small item so that it's not obvious, then the flame trap has to be sunk down into the ground, and so that you can do that. There are other stuff that you can do with breaking an item that you have a bunch of stuff built on. This is an example of a camp that I built that it's on a flip trap because I didn't have the egg at the time. And when you flip the trap, the entire camp disappears because it's all being supported by that one flip trap, which of course, in this build, I could have used the egg and then anyone could have come up and break the egg, the whole thing disappears, and you repair it for free, the camp comes back. So it's really great for all kinds of different things. Here's another example. This is notoriously bad for building under because of the collision under it. You can basically place nothing. But if you build it on top of an egg, you can break the egg. I'll go over that more in detail. But first, let's have ADHD and focus in on this camper over here instead of continuing with the thought process that we just started, because I think that'll be less confusing for you guys, and it'll cover things more in detail. But this is a method that I don't really use that often. Like I said before, Bad Notions uses this quite a bit. Like like I said, you can do it without the egg, and a lot of Bad Notion stuff, he had to burn all those things that he had built stuff on to merge it. And this will make his life better, and as well as his therapist's life much better. As you can see, I put this in here to show you that you could power up stuff or have that connected, even though you don't need to. You can just walk up to them and change the color manually. I forgot, but that's fine. It's just an example that you can place all kinds of things anywhere you want, and it's just easy, it's free, and it makes you so happy. I want to add that this new wall set is pretty fucking good, but like I said before, I took this and merged it down into a thrasher egg, so it's sitting on the egg, and that way when I come up to it and break the egg, it goes away. And that way you can place anything down. And I also, for this whole thing, I put a few different things on different eggs so that I could break those different eggs, and all these different items disappear, and then you can just kind of pile shit up. And so it's really cool that you can do stuff like this using the egg. And like I said before, if you have a way to get under the map and build your platform of items down there, you can break those eggs under the map, and you can have those eggs be under the map so they're not part of your build. And so that's something to think about as well. And again, I show how to get under the map in that video that I linked, and as well as showing how to uninstall the game if that's something that you're interested in doing. I try to not do that as much, but I can understand definitely why some people are into doing that. But yeah, like I said, you can just build stuff on these eggs, merge them down till they're flat on the ground. When you break the egg, it disappears everything, and you can kind of put them in places where they're not going to really be seen, or like I've been saying 400 times, you can put them under the map if you build them up to the surface. You know what I mean? So that they're sitting there. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm fucking saying, to be honest. Like, this is why people script their videos, and I understand it, but I can't script my videos because I can't read. So thank you so much to my patrons and channel members for your support. I really do appreciate it. And if you're interested in supporting me in that way, the link for that is in the description. But just liking and subscribing is really great support as well. And just to reiterate, make sure you get the egg. It's going to make camp building so much more fun for you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.